you cannot handle real work, reality talk, 80+ language, simply skip the video.
Vlog number 79. Unbelievable, right? I mean, now I just finished the training for today. What did I do today? If you see the stairs behind me, I did those with upwards deep forward lunges, and for that extra little suffering. So if you can see the stairs, you know, it's pretty steep, I think, for a deep forward lunge. Over here I did, and I said this many times wrong because I don't know the labels for everything exactly. The thing is, over here I did the pike push-up plus normal push-up, and here you can see my stones, so a total of 100. So it's actually the pike push-up plus normal push-up, and I did 100 of those until, so I did it in sets of 5, so 5 pike plus normal push-up, and then every time up the stairs with forward deep lunges, and to smoothen it out, because your legs get pretty sour after this. I did just a normal 2 kilometer, I don't want to say run, maybe more jogging. So that's how I start my midday, and my day always starts around 5:15. I'm already doing a lot of stuff in the morning. Now I just cleaned myself out, you know, mentally, mostly mentally. If you didn't watch any of my vlogs before, I'm always training between 11 and 1 to clean up my mental household before I continue, because, you know, from 5:15 till now, it's now, I don't know exactly, I think it's around 12. You know, it's already a long day. Let's say the amount of work what I'm doing in the morning is, I don't want to brag, but I do believe, you know, I don't take breaks. I just move every single day. And now I cleaned up my mental household, and then we're gonna make a move. But first, cold shower. No, I already had a cold shower. I'm not gonna do a cold shower now. I'm gonna just normal shower. I'm gonna eat a boatload of spaghetti. It's been a while, with meat, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Vlog number 79, you know, and now it starts, you know, that I keep going, try to improve the content that I'm sharing, the things that I'm speaking about, you know, somehow, you know, there's a lot of things, and when you start a project like this, I am very transparent about my vlogging journey. You know, I'm trying to find my voice, I'm trying to find, let's say, more engaging topics to talk about, and you know, I want to share also a lot of my strategies, and I want to chew them down, so pre-chewed, you can digest them and actually really easily implement them in your own life. You know, that is my purpose. One of my purposes, that people do not have to go to their jobs, do not have to, also not slave away behind laptops, only using the phone. That's what I'm doing now. I'm 46. I'm only using my phone. You know, at 11 I started selling my bicycle cleaning service. I had multiple businesses, failed a lot, ended up homeless a couple of times, and now I do everything from the phone. The past 4 years I worked pretty much on building the fundamentals of, yeah, what I'm now actually picking the fruits from. Now I'm in the upscaling phase, and that sounds like a long time, but the trial and error you don't have to go through it anymore. You can pretty much do it within less than 14 days. So that's my main intention of my vlogs. And like this, I also, let's say, hope to get in contact with more serious people. You know, in the past I shared so much stuff with, let's say, normal people who just listen, just nod yes, 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 and don't do anything with it. And like this, with the videos, it stays over there, whether I get the 1 million views or not. It stays over there, and it can grab at one point those 1 million views per video. And if you didn't subscribe yet, please help me out over here. When it's about my Telegram group, I'm sharing over there the scenarios to automate stuff. You can ask me questions over there. That is the easiest way to get in contact. There's several sections in the Telegram group. The general one, you just ask or introduce yourself. The sections, so you also got the e-commerce and other things like copywriting, giveaways. You can, if you have questions about specific topics, you know, use that specific section. Otherwise, things get lost and get very messy, and other people maybe also learn something from it. And everything that I'm sharing, I simply do it now. I'm not one of those course sellers that drained out first their strategies that because they found some sort of a loophole in the algorithms. My strategies, they are evergreen and they can be used uncapped, which means your imagination, your amount of the amount of dedication, they actually will just limit the way the outcome of it. So, and not only that, I'm also using tools that I tested, I can say, in so many ways. I failed in even more ways, but now they're so they stood the trial and error through a long amount of time along the years, and those tools, I'm sharing those as well. Everything that I'm using to main the thing, I had to use only my phone. There are of course a lot of automations running in the back. I'm also sharing those tools, so your life can be way much easier. And you know, I always like to target the people who play a lot with their phones, mindless scrolling. You know, try to replace 1 hour of your mindless scrolling with building something for yourself that can set you free from going to your boss on Monday. Because anyway, no matter what, you will figure out probably at the moment excuses like, I'm very good at my job. You're probably not, because if you would be, you would run your own business. And that is very, and I'm in my vlogs I talk reality. If you would be the best, I don't know what, call center guy, you know, who speaks with people, so you communicate very well, simply because you can read up the script of the company very well, well, then you have to start considering to use that skill to do something for yourself. And take a look at those scripts and how to use them for your own benefits, like building your own assets, maybe your own business. And then simply start watching my videos a little bit more. I'm just mentioning a call center guy because I know a couple of guys that I talked yesterday with that talked a lot about how good they are, and I said, if you're really that good at speaking at the phone, why don't you start selling on the phone? Yeah, then there's of course what are you going to sell, but I'm not going to get into that. The thing is, those people who already can't speak and they claim to be very good at it, then prove it to the marketplace yourself. And the boss, your master, he creates the clients and or traffic, so you can, you know, utilize that traffic. So you have to create your own traffic by actually showing the world how good you actually are. And people who have above average skills in something, talk about it, speak about it, fail, and fail fast. The same way I'm doing with the vlogs, right? I'm showing pretty much, let's say, a lot of things from my life now. The way I speak, the way I walk, the way I train, everything is uncut. You can see me drinking beer. I'm sharing the training things just to share what I'm doing to stay in shape as a 46-year-old fucking fart. End of the year I'm gonna be 47, and I also maybe somehow reach some 45 plus people who say, yeah, I cannot do this, I wouldn't know how to start. Well, then watch my videos, because I'm sharing everything what I'm doing. And also, when you start growing, you know, you will lose people. That is part of the game. Your mind changes, your perception of reality changes, and especially when you start leaving your job at one point. And that's why I'm talking a lot about red flags of people, their characteristics that they could and definitely will hold you back, or simply even destroy your opportunity, or maybe your will to grow, because that's what people like to do, no matter what. If you're, let's say, a bottom feeder or very successful, people always try to pull you, or to their level. Successful people like to pull you up, and the people who are a little bit low, they want to somehow feel still worthy, so they pull you down. And that is life, and it is nothing bad, but it's only bad for your outcome. If you would take it too serious, you get influenced by it, because everything is about how long you can keep it up. Now with my own vlogging thing, it's vlog number 79 and vlog every day. I could have said at vlog number 50, yeah, this is not working. I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I don't have hundreds of views on my long form videos. I have hundreds of views on the shorts, but that's also something. I watched once a course about YouTube, and they said if you did a lot of shorts before, I did upload a lot of shorts, training shorts before, but they always said don't use the same channel for long form. Yeah, well, I did, and let's see, maybe that's working against me, I don't know. Let's see, I just pierce through. Maybe after video 250 things will work out when it's about the long form videos. Maybe I get more subscribers, and if not, then there's still a lot of content out there. When I would engage with people in the normal world, let's say business people who are interested to work with me, they can see how I speak, the way I act, and I don't pretend. I'm not a pretender who licks your ass to make me look good for you and to start working with you, because I don't believe in putting on a suit, lick your ass, smile the whole time, and when I open my mouth, there's nothing value in it. That's I don't believe in those things. I know so many people who parade in suits at daytime, smile the whole time, and I always and I don't spend a lot of time with those people anymore, because I simply cannot. I only sit with real people. And the thing is, when those people smile, people in general who smile a lot for nothing, there's always something wrong. Maybe that's one of the red flags that I'm gonna mention now. People who smile a lot for no reason, especially when they're around other people. When those people walk alone, they don't smile. And there are simply people who smile a lot for no reason. Dangerous people. I hired a few of those in the past, because I didn't have the knowledge and the experience yet when I was 25, and hired a lot of people, a lot of idiots with a lot of bad habits, because I was acting mostly from the heart, which is a stupid thing to do, especially when you start generating a lot of money and you start acting from the heart. Yeah. Anyway, a red flag. People who smile for no reason. And just ask them, what are you smiling about? And not in a very angry way, the way I do now. The thing is, what are you smiling about? Just ask. And you will find out quickly enough that they just smile for no reason. And that's dangerous. Those people are for sale. I had actually yesterday a thought about a person who was actually for sale, and because I also mentioned this in other vlogs, you know, I never work with people who only chase money, because those people, their honor, their respect is for sale, if they have some sort of respect, because they actually willing, and let's say in a figuratively speaking way, they're willing to kill. And some people in the totally literally way, I don't know how to pronounce it at the moment. Anyway, so the red flag in clip number 1, people who smile too much for no reason. And also what I mentioned, I think a vlog maybe yesterday, and the people, there's always people dropping off from me because I'm meeting daily new people, and I'm simply scouting. What is the reason? Now, first of all, I'm very interested in human behavior. I'm doing this for a long time. Next to that, I'm simply scouting the planet for hyperactive people. I don't look for business people who just want to make a little bit money. I'm just looking for hyper active people who want to develop themselves non-stop. I'm not working with people who are not with their brain constantly busy. I'm not working with people who are not physically in shape or are even willing to get in shape. I don't work with people who constantly have excuses, don't have time, blah blah blah, blame it on others. You know, I have to spend time with my kids. You know, you better keep on spending time because you probably need it. And I think when men use their children as an excuse, you know, that is, you're a fucking coward. And people might think, yeah, but darling, you don't have children. Well, I do have a lot of very great contacts who have over 5 children. One has even, I think, 9, with several wives, and he always picks up the phone. He would be always willing to get on the plane, always ready to step in the car, middle of the night, doesn't matter. See, that is, in my eyes, 100% contact. And those are mine. Those are my filters, my requirements. Yours don't have to be as solid as this. And one other red flag, I thought about this yesterday because I talked with a guy who I thought, no, I would like to start generating leads for his business. But then we start speaking, you know, I always ask questions just to filter people, but it appears that he has a wife and a few children, and then he asked me about, yeah, can we meet some girls? And I thought, yep, there you go. Why? Because he's willing to cheat on his wife and actually to be less authentic to his child when he's going back, to his children. And I think if he would do this to his own family, his own blood, well, I think that's a very dangerous thing. And I had multiple partners in business ventures. They all had the same behavior and they all just destroyed it. No, I don't blame it on them. I just let them in my life. And let's say we have 2 red flags: people who smile way too much and people who are willing to cheat on their own family. Well, that sounds like a huge red flag if you really think about it. And if they would do this to their own blood, you know, their children are their blood, you know, you can imagine what they're willing to do for you for an extra 100k. You know, when you get in the numbers, people get dangerous, get unstable because they haven't never been there. The same thing is the level of freedom that I have. You know, I asked this in previous vlogs. What would you do that you really don't have to get up? You don't have to get up. You don't have to be there. You don't have to pick up the phone if you don't want to, because everything is pretty much automated. You don't have to pick up the phone for 4 days in a row. You don't have to this. What are you going to do with your life? And what are you going to aim for? Ask yourself, do I actually want freedom and what I'm willing to do for it? I'm just sharing these thoughts in case you want to have more freedom. You know, write down what is freedom for you, like this. you maybe tell the universe and your subconscious mind what you actually really want. Do you want freedom? A lot of people asking, I want this, I want that, and then without actually saying what they bring to the table. You can want a lot in life. I want this, I want this, but what are you willing to bring to the table? The same is with dating, right? I mentioned this before. When you get into dating, I never talk about what I want. I do have some sort of, let's say, requirements. First of all, I prefer women who are hyperactive. That's for sure. Of high level energy. It comes with a lot of other benefits, because hyperactive people are simply more into details. And next to that, I always like women. I'm at the moment still single. Haven't been on a date for 3 weeks because I'm in the upscaling thing of my business models actually. So, but I'm going back into the dating thing. But when it's about dating stuff or women, I never talk about this is what I want, this is what I need. No, I always say what I bring to the table, and that's pretty much it. And I put in the work. I'm always willing to put in the work. Am I acting always like a simp? No, not at all. Not at all. But I'm willing to put in the work. And I always keep this in mind. Their Instagram accounts are full with DMs, and I am not over here to claim anybody. All my exes, they know. They could always go out, have fun with their girlfriends. Maybe it didn't work out, but I'm not over here on this planet to claim anybody. But there are boundaries once, there is some sort of a commitment. But, keeping people at home so you can, scare away or fence away your competitors. No, I never believed in this, because if it's over there, every human being wants to do whatever they want. And that's why in general I like women with some sort of history. They understand where the temptations are. They understand what are, let's say, honorable actions and dishonorable actions. And anyway, I keep on rattling. Red flag: to smile too much, and people who are willing to cheat on their own family. Next to that, when it's about my Telegram group, next week I start dropping things a lot. Now it's Saturday, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna take a shower and ciao for now. Wait a minute, before I say ciao for now, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and take a good look at the Rakowski Stadium. This is the Rakowski Stadium. By the way, on my Google Maps profile, it's it goes fucking nuts. 3.2 million views, so you can see a lot of places where I go. And also, when you come to Sofia and you like training, drink beer, and you like to meet humans, then just hit me up on the WhatsApp thing. Always mention how you why you're reaching out, by the way, because some people just say hi, hello. To be very honest, I never respond to those, because if I do a hi, hello to everybody, yes, I could automate it, but I'm not even willing to set it up, because the answers are always the same. People who start with hi, hello always ends with nothing. Not that I don't respond, but a normal person would say, hey, my name is this and this, I'm coming this and this to Sofia, I would like to meet, can we meet? And gonna have a beer. See, that's a whole different story. Then I respond. Anyway, that's not to be cocky, but I get tons and tons of messages through social media. I cannot respond with everybody hi, hello, hello, and then I say hello back. And then there's an how you doing. Now, anyway, I don't want to end this clip negative. I just say why I don't respond always. So this is the Rakowski Stadium, and I'm out for now.